What's up, everybody? I should never sing. That's a fact. Anywho, well, hello there. It is time for this week's action figure chat of all the figures in the past week that went up for pre-order that I thought looked really good and are gonna look good under your lights and in front of your lens. At least I think they'd look good under my lights and in front of my lens. So that's the question for the replay crew, as it seems to be every Monday. What is it that you saw in the past week that you're stoked to pre-order, to grab, so that you can take pictures of? I feel like my brain kind of paused there for a second. Anywho, that's tonight. So let's get to it. Skew Raider, what's up, sir? Thanks for stopping by. We also have Mr. Spencer. Greetings. Good to see everybody showing up. Mr. Savage, what's up? And good evening, gents. Good evening, Jericho. Jeremiah, I just shipped a pile of loot from BBTS. Lots of Motu Origins, all the Filmation stuff, and more. Also some Super 7 Ultimates. Thundercats and G.I. Joe, what have the rest of you picked up lately? Holy crap, sir. That's going to be an impressive pile of loot. And the nice part there, I'm guessing you definitely saved on shipping. That's what happens when I'm getting ready to take a swig. I get confused and my brain solely focuses on the mug. And it was just made, so it's piping hot. So why I even took a swig, I don't know, but that sounds pretty insane. Now, when you say all the Filmation stuff, do you mean that you ordered, like, every single Filmation Motu figure is in this pile of loot? Because just that is crazy. Pushing the buttons. Ooh, Dalsim and Bison. I saw Bison. Are they up for pre-order yet? Because I saw Bison making the rounds on the social media today, but I didn't see Dalsim. I am going to need those. Those are necessities. Hiya Toys Contra reveals looks great. Okay, so basically what's going on is, in my haste to hurry up and get everything done for this past week's newsletter and go out and spend some time with friends, I missed a whole lot. So we're going to look all this stuff up as well, guys, as well as the stuff I've got planned. In fact, why don't we just look for Hiya Toys Contra here? Let's get some of that done before we even, let's see, both up for pre-order today. And I still don't have Ken. Ooh, I got work to do. This is actually embarrassing. I'm sitting here running a toy photography channel, and I've gotten 7 figures so far this year, and 4 of them are Usagi Yojimbos. Got to work on that a little bit, obviously. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I definitely saved on shipping. Filmation He-Man, Skeletor, Beastman, Man-at-Arms, Tila, and Trapjaw are on the way. Awesome, man. That's going to be a great set. I thought about picking all those up, but you know what actually got me was getting He-Man. I knew I needed Skeletor, and I wanted Skeletor. Like, for a little bit, I thought maybe I can just sell this He-Man, but then I'm like, I can't have Skeletor without He-Man and vice versa, and I need that Skeletor just because he's perfectly meme-worthy. So that basically saved He-Man and kept Skeletor in the collection. Just the memes of the thing. But Hiya Toys Contra. Let me go, let's see here. I'm going to create a new, or we're just going to click new window. I'm going to type in Hiya Toys Contra. And we're going to see what all pops up. Any images? I want images, dang it. Aha, Toy Arc has us covered. All right, guys, I'm coming. Don't worry. We're sharing screens. Push the button, Dave. You can do it. Okay, here we go. Because I decided this needs to be seen. I hadn't even heard about these things yet. That's because it was... All right. Looks like it was, oh no, that wasn't today. That was, oh dear, guys, I totally missed this. Let's see. Aha, here we go. Now, Contra was one of those games that I always used the cheat code, so I always won. They look really good. I wonder, hold on, I want to see a little more articulation here. All right, they're definitely going to have the ball peg waist, and that is crazy important. We're going to have some double elbows, bicep. I want to, every time I see something new, I kind of want to make sure that there's not missing articulation. It doesn't look like you're going to get tons of range in those elbows. I could be off. I don't see the bottom of it very well. So it's going to do, I think it's going to do all right. Yeah, these look really good. I love the face sculpts that they put together. Woo, all right. So who's in on some of this stuff? Mr. Spencer, I've opened 22-ish figures this year. That is awesome, man. Congrats. And I bet they're all phenomenal. And they're all going to look good under your lights and in front of your lens. Yep, Skew, I totally agree. These things look great. How I missed them, because it looks like I totally should have caught them before the weekend. Up, down, left, right, BA select start. Yes, sir. That was a whole lot of what I did. Yeah, I can't say that I ever actually beat this game because I always used the Konami code when it came to it. Man, yeah, they look really good. Whew. All right, what else let's see, going back through the chat here real quick, seeing what I missed. Okay, we talked about Dalsim and M. Bison. Let me go in because I want to see. Let's go find. I'm guessing Entertainment Earth must. Here we go. Guys, I clearly need to be better at this. Click it, you fiend. If anybody's a Funko collector, it looks like 50% off Funko sale. But it ends soon, not to pressure anybody. Man. Making sure that's popping up there. M. Bison looks really good, but I think they all look good. Woo! And I love that they come with, like, it's standard that they have an extra head, that they have extra hands, that they have an effect piece. I love standards like that. That's one of the things. Look at that. They understood how to light up the side that the effect was on. That's pretty awesome. The only thing I might have done there a little differently, only because it's me. This whole thing on his hand is supposed to be lit up a little bit. So I probably would have tried to do something, maybe copy that, paste it on top, use some hard lights or a screen or something Photoshop wise. But to their credit, this picture probably wasn't Photoshopped at all. It was probably totally perfect and shot exactly the way it was lit up. So that looks really good. I love how blocky he is. I mean, that's perfect. That's a sweet pose. I love it when people really play and mess around and get their photography down. Like, that's a simple shot, but it's perfection. Just the posing from the game and everything. Jada knows what's up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of M. Bison. Faux show. Whew. All right. See, look at this. Now I have to go click comments. You guys and your talking. Jada offers a lot for their price point. That is true. That is true. The only $25 line out there right now that I think can compete is classified. And even then, it's not standard that you get extra hands and an extra head, although they do have a lot of weapons accessories. But there's so many companies making the weapons that I'm almost like, tell you what, G.I. Joe, just drop the weapons and come with the extra head and hands. We'll get the weapons from somebody else. And such a good price on the Street Fighter figs. Actually, Jaded Toys in general. Yeah, I still need to pick up some Mega Man figures. Like, I have no excuse. They're 20 bucks a piece, and I haven't gone for them yet. So I got to work on that. But, and this is no excuse, I've really been busy. Like today, I didn't even get a shot for newest figure day. So I don't know. We'll see. I gotta figure out my schedule better. Gotta be better about all that stuff. Now, let's get out of here. Let's go see how Dalsim. Ooh. All right. What did you guys, when I was a kid, I called him Dalsim, but I've heard people say it differently as well. What did you call this guy when you were kids? And what do you think's the correct pronunciation? Holy geez. Just the sculpt on this guy right now, like how lanky and thin he was in the game, they've kind of got that going on, like especially the lower torso. Like he's not the huge, bulky mass that Ryu and M. Bison are. And I love that he comes with all that stuff, actually, because he comes with, and he's still $24.99. Hello, Jada. Take my money. Yeah, he looks a little beefy, but I bet once you add in the legs, I love how ridiculous this is. This is perfect, guys. Anyway, yeah, what did you call this guy? Holy crap. Oh, Jada. Okay, so I have said in the past that if I had to only, or if I could only collect one line, it would be Mafex. I'm getting to the point where it's kind of Mafex, Jada, like anything Jada does that's action figure related, and pretty much anything Comic Turtles. There's a lot of other stuff that I really dig, though. So, yeah. This looks really good. I'm gonna leave it here while I go check out the chat. Skew Raider, that's what we call them too. Awesome. Yoga Fire, Yoga Flame. See, I pronounce it like you do. All right, sweet. Because I was one of the guys that always pronounced Ryu, and then the internet told me I was an idiot. So I was waiting to see if the internet would tell me I was an idiot for Dalsim. Man, he looks really good. All right, let's see here. Just the poses that they can get these guys into. Like the people they have doing the photography and doing the posing and everything else, they do great work. That is... I love how you got just this natural bend in his back going down to his hips. I can't believe this dude is 25 bucks. I know that June, who's the guy that's in charge of all this stuff, has said that they will also have deluxe price points, but he doesn't want it to go more than 30 bucks. My assumption would have been that Dalsim, with all this stuff, would have been one of those $30 figures. This is ridiculously good. Wow. Yeah. I don't even know. And what makes me think, you know how you'll hear about other lines having to spread their budget across multiple figures in a wave or whatever, even in the whole series. This makes me wonder how little Jada could knock prices down even more if they didn't include so much with Dalsim. However, I am glad they did, and I'm very happy with the $25 price point. So that's not even, I shouldn't have even said that. That's not even an actual critique. That was just a thought that popped in, and now needs to go away as quickly as I said it. That's ridiculous. Any other company for that stuff would probably charge, I don't know, I'd be guessing around 33 bucks. Not that I want to give Jada any ideas, but that's insane. Insanely good. Like, the only thing that he doesn't have that's extra is like a torso. That is crazy. I love this line. Okay. All right. So we've seen the Street Fighter stuff that I'm sure all of you saw already today that I completely missed because go me. Now let's get into some of the other stuff that I talked about. For those of you who maybe don't get the newsletter, I mean, those of you who do get the newsletter, you'll know most of the figures I'm about to talk about. By the way, before I get into it, I am going to show these guys who in the chat is excited for Street Sharks. And while you guys are discussing that amongst yourselves, I'm going to go find that folder. I got on just in the nick of time tonight, so I wasn't exactly prepared. But that's okay. That was cheesy announcer guy voice. Open, open, open. There. Ah. Yep, dead air. Hello, dead air. How are you? All right, we should be about there now. Okay, cool beans. Let me go share what we've got going on now that I found. I just pulled up the window that had like my Indeed resume. No, let's not share that. Let's instead share this. Now, always, it seems that SHF ends up working its way into this stuff. And I'm not even going to be upset about it. The Boost Striker motorcycle. This thing's just awesome. Now, I would love to pick something like this up from SHF, but because their figures all run just a little smaller than the rest of my lines, I just don't think it'd work out. I don't think it'd fit. And what's crazy is I think SHF is pretty close to true 1/12 scale, because anytime I buy something that says 1/12 scale, as far as, say, a motorcycle for my figures, it always looks just a little bit too small. But yeah, I like this thing. I think that it does good work. I think SHF is one of those companies that tends to do good work. It's not perfect. There are some little tiny gripes I have from time to time about them. They're not Mafex after all, but they do really good stuff, and they put out so much more than Mafex that I wonder what their quality would be if they themselves were only doing 2 to 3 figures a month. Woo, that would be nuts. Mr. Spencer, unfortunately, I am not excited. I was a bit old when they came out. The Street Sharks, okay. I'm not really all that excited about them either, to be honest. I don't even remember them. But I know that for kids, they're going to be really cool. For other collectors that are big fans, I think they'll be cool. Pretty excited. A lot are. They must have seen those other sharks that were coming from Fury Toys. Yep, I think there's some of that too. They were like, oh, people like sharks. We should make sharks again. Yeah, I agree, Skew Raider. This thing's sweet. See, excited for those that want the sharks, but I'm checking those third-party ones out more so. Yeah, I think that would be, like, if I were really into those things, those would be the ones I'd check out as well. But I see the Street Sharks as being something that kids and parents can really get into, and the collectors that want something on their shelves to remind them of their childhoods. No problem with that. But like when I wanna keep working on the new action figure photography guide, and so part of the split that I want to put together is if you're a kid here are the kind of figures that you'll probably get, and here are all the poses we can make out of them. Like, I'm thinking generally something along the lines of the Mutant Mayhem figures, and then move up from there. So like it goes from basically Mutant Mayhem figures up to Mafex. And so you show all the different poses you can get with those types of figures so people know what to expect with each one. I think that would be very cool. And I think the Street Sharks would probably fall into that category. Mr. Martin, yeah, I was too old for Street Sharks too. I was in high school by the time the show aired. I am happy for Street Shark fans though. The origin style update is good. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And I think they're doing, it looks like maybe Playmates is kind of doing the same thing with Turtles, like the original 88 line, which would be awesome. That third party has had these companies waking up from dusty slumber on classic lines. That's true. And the only thing that has me a little nervous about that is I think because Ramen Toys got into doing mask type figures, Hasbro renewed their mask trademark. So I'm like, maybe if Ramen had kept that a little under wraps, they could have waited till that elapsed. Although I'm not sure how trademarks work kind of across countries. It probably wouldn't work quite that simply. But yeah, anyway, it would have been fun, but they still would have needed likenesses, and you can't really get likenesses just because you get a trademark. Yeah, it was after me, but I am happy for the fans as well. Yeah, same here. I think they're going to be, I do enjoy just the wackiness of the design, to be honest. Yeah, if we're getting G.I. Joe and Motu TMNT, let them get their sharks. Yeah, that's cool. Great line to bring back for children to get into, like you said. And they look like, it's kind of like Origins, where they're not going to break easy. So kids can mess with them, and they can get mom and dad to let them look at their cell phones so that they can shoot them. Maybe get mom and dad involved. That's part of what I would like Toypixx to evolve into, is just giving folks an idea for messing with their kids, for playing with their kids. I guess messing with their kids, that would just be playing pranks on them. I would not hold that against anybody. And of course, we have talked ad nauseum almost about the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. So those pre-orders went up, so I put them in the newsletter. But obviously, we've talked about them a few times. Still very cool. I still enjoy that this particular one, Boone here, has a cyborg arm. Like, that takes Animal Warriors of the Kingdom to just this totally new, crazy level that I'm really digging. And there's a lot of stuff that I would load up on if I were able to. And I think that's coming close. But yeah, Boone is sweet. And because I didn't have time to really get this stuff organized, guys, we're going to kind of jump all over the place a little bit. It's not like we're putting SHF stuff with SHF stuff like I usually like to do, and AWOC stuff with AWOC stuff. But hey, maybe it'll keep the live stream a little more lively. Now, if you've been paying attention to my stuff, you know how much I love the MDLX line and how much I'm not so into cartoon colors and cartoon looks, just because as a kid even, I think I understood that cartoons had to be drawn the way they did because in my head, the people doing the work didn't have time to actually make them look cool. So cartoon designs don't really do much for me. That said, I know a lot of people with this Bumblebee were saying, man, I sure wish he had the black legs, like the black thigh and the black shins, and then the regular VW bug feet. And this Bumblebee does have that. And if people are interested, we'll go find more pictures of him so you can see what I'm talking about. I have the original one. I love it. If you dig cartoon looks and you're okay with Transformers that don't transform and don't have that original Bumblebee, I think you should check this out. He was, the year that he came out, which was, I think, 2022, truly, I was sitting there trying to figure out, was it Bumblebee or Optimus Prime that would be my figure of the year? Because Bumblebee, as much as, Prime won, and as much as I love Prime, Bumblebee is like a crazy expensive desk figure, but he's just so much fun to pose around. Like, I've still got him. I know, kind of tough to see, but I've just got him hanging out on my desk because he's that much fun. So yeah, if you haven't gotten into the MDLX line yet, this bumblebee might be something for you to check out. Mr. Spencer, I'm happy for everyone to get figs. Extra happy that I don't have to get them. The wallet already hates me. These are facts that you're speaking, sir. Mr. Stabby already looks for excuses to give me a run for my money. But yeah, it is. It always sounds, sometimes you'll see a comment in like comments on Twitter or Instagram when something gets revealed, and you're kind of like, I think that person's being a little snarky when they say, hey, I don't need it, but I'm happy for people that do. Just the way that they type it up, that kind of thing. I know most people actually mean it, but sometimes you see something and you're going, I think they're a little bitter. I am not bitter at all when stuff that doesn't, or when stuff comes out that I don't want, because I feel like it gives the old wallet a reprieve. Clearly, you're in the same boat, and I like it. Skew Raider, Hot Toys started out a lot like ramen has. People didn't really realize that, but if you picked them up back then, it was like that then. I hope they licensed lines to Ace and Ramen like Hot Toys did. I know I heard that, and I don't remember. It might have been you on one of these live streams that I heard that from. But yeah, I was kind of surprised when I found out that Hot Toys started that same way that ramen is right now. And they're obviously pretty good. Mr. Spencer, Boone is heckin' awesome. Heck yeah, he is. I mean, he's a cyborg fox. What's not to love? 22 years ago, rooting for ramen. Get the companies to moving. Yep, get them on it a little bit. It's tough as a company right now, I would think, because I don't think there's quite as many toy collectors. Obviously, well, otherwise they wouldn't be cutting production numbers. So if there's not as many toy collectors, they have to be really careful about what they release and what they expect to make profit on. Like right now for Hasbro, Transformers are a seller. They'll do fine, so they can license out that property. But if they don't sit there and they continually up the ante and try to create new stuff and make their old stuff really relevant and all that stuff, they're not going to make money off of licensing, because the licensors, or I'm sorry, the licensees aren't going to want the licenses. So it's gonna be a crazy battle. Like, I already think that what we're gonna start seeing from all the lines are super popular characters, and we're not gonna get as many deep dives because they're gonna want people actually buying the stuff. I hope I'm wrong, but from a business perspective, that's the way that seems to make sense to me. Yes, no worries. We're there. We're there. I should stop talking so much. Then I could get to those comments faster. Let's see. You put Boone on my radar last week. Yeah, Boone's crazy. The MDLX Transformers are tempting, but this is a case where I need to draw the line somewhere. I still want that AWOC rabbit, though, and I totally understand needing to draw the line. Don't worry. My problem is, like I've said in the past, I can budget for the pricier stuff and then feel okay because I'm all ready. It's those, like, just going to the store and deciding to grab something that suddenly I get totally thrown off by. Like, I can budget for, say, a new Bumblebee, and I don't know how much this one is. This one, the first one I got was $60. So I can budget for that. But then I'll go to the store, pick up three $25 figures, and suddenly I'm going, wait a sec, what have I done? So it's the cheaper lines that actually hose me more than the pricier stuff. But I know a lot of people are completely opposite. Brick something. Thank you for stopping by, sir. Hola to you as well. And we have the people saying hi because they're good people. Kanji the rabbit is fire. Hoping for the elephants and other big guns in AWOC. Let's go. Yeah, an elephant is insane. I have no problem with insane, of course, but that's insane. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Yep. Like I said, we've been talking AWOC. We've got Corvius, the Cold Blood. I like the addition there because they could just call him Corvius. But no. They want to make sure you know this guy means business. Also, the whole lizard thing with the cold blood, that makes sense. But yeah, always digging what I see in these lines. Now we've got a full power Frieza. And I grabbed this image because it was the easiest to turn into a square for the newsletter. But I don't know my Dragon Ball. I wish I did because a lot of the figures look really good. And I love the facial expressions that they add to them. They always look great. This one I didn't notice before, but he looks like he's got some jazz hands going on. Or maybe hands up, although I doubt he really would surrender to anybody. I think he looks really good. And I think anybody that's into DBZ or Dragon Ball, whichever version this is, I think you're going to get great pictures out of them. I really like when they do the whole matte finish going on and then add a bunch of the extra shiny for the armor bits. I always think that's a good look. It can be tricky to light, but I mean, in a natural environment, that would be a tough one to light. You wouldn't get perfection, but obviously SHF did a fine job. It really just depends on the angles and how harsh you want the light to be. But yeah, man, Frieza looks good. Let's see, the sales kill me. How can I turn down 50% off? Hey, like I said, man, Funko has the 50% off sale. Or EE does on Funko. I'm not a Funko guy, but we'll see. Maybe. Let's see. Skew good taste on Kanji and Boone. Great stuff. Yep. That Boone is more... I figured Hannibal would be the only one that really tempted me. Boone's tempting me more and more, too. Darth Vader. Hello there. That seems a little inappropriate for Darth Vader, but I'll take it. That was my impression, not so much your greeting. Do you have any Star Wars figures on pre-order? I saw that they were starting to show a bunch of like SHF redos. Like I think they're redoing, I think the most recent one I saw was Obi-Wan. I don't have any on pre-order. How about you? Because I know that Black Series was showing some stuff earlier this week or late last week. I think it was a Cal Kestis 3-pack is what I'm thinking of specifically. Yesterday on our AWOC-related show, we revealed that the elephant will be the unlock at like 460,000. Ooh, what are you guys up to right now, Brick? That would be good to know. Oh, God. My wallet hates me. You know my wallet hates it when you guys start talking figures, which is really weird because I'm the one that starts the conversation about the figures. Thanks. AWOC is great to go with this wave of anthropomorphic overload. I love it. Thundercats, Turtles, Fooray, Fury, tons of good stuff. Yeah, like I said, when I was watching or when I was reading the IDW Turtle comics and they got into Mutant Town, that seemed to be about when all the anthropomorphic figures started showing up, and all I could see was just a massive mutant town with a bunch of turtles and everything else. I thought that would have been so much fun. Brick. 100% those are jazz hands. He's a dancer, really. See, we'll see. I hope that goal is reached. Yeah, that'd be sweet. A huge elephant would just totally throw me off. Let's see. Jazz hands, keep it jazzy. He's a Dizzy Gillespie fan, I'm pretty sure. Not a Funko guy. I own two, and one is a custom my work sister had made of herself. I get that totally. I'm trying to think. Let's see. I don't have anything that is proper Funko, I don't believe, but I do have, I don't know what company made it. It was a movie Optimus Prime bobblehead. And then I've got mugs. Like I have a Mugs Optimus Prime and a Megatron. But I don't know what mugs were, if they're even still a thing. Yeah. Anyway, Megatron. I'm telling you, I loves me my Transformers. I just haven't seen much that Hasbro's been putting out that I'm really stoked about. Let's see. Now that Funko owns Mondo, does that count? I will hush before I get fired out of cannon out of here like Gonzo. Stabby demands it. No. Stabby is totally cool with Muppets. Stabby's just not cool when I make him a little less full by pulling cash out of there. So you're good. And everybody loves Muppets. Let's be very honest about that. Plus, if we're talking a 50% off sale, nothing that is Mondo will ever be 50% off. So I think we're good. I think we're just going to keep saying just Funko is in pops. Yeah, man. Ooh. If I were a 1/6 scale collector, I'd be hosed. Because that thing, all those 1/6 scale Mondo figures are incredible. Let's see. SHF Qui-Gon. Nice. Was he just recently announced? Because I know the most recent that I saw was Obi-Wan, but I haven't been on as much. I was gone this weekend. I'm busy today, so I need to see more stuff. See, Star Wars. I'm stupidly going backward to cherry pick some of the Mondai Meisho movie realization. See, I think those are really cool. So I would say not stupidly, Brick. Like, I was really tempted by the Mando and Grogu, like the Lone Wolf and Cub type thing. I thought those were sweet. The Stormtrooper I thought was cool too. The Vader's cool. Yeah. This is my problem, man. There's so much good stuff out there. See, 157K. Okay, so we've still got a bit to go, but it can happen. There's still quite a bit of time left, I think. See, 99K was the original goal. Got it. Ooh, boy. Skew, those movie realization figure line is sick and fire. Yeah. Yeah, I love all those things. Like, I really like when like artists get to use their imaginations to come up with that stuff. Did you see, let's see, the new Mafex 2.0 Mando? He is awesome. I've seen reviews on him. I think I watched Robo's review and D Amazing's. D Amazing had one that kept splitting apart at the torso, which wasn't so great. But Robo was a big fan. But yeah, I think I've decided that I'll go back and I'll get SHF figures for the original trilogy type guys and maybe a few Black Series to fill in some gaps. But for the Disney era, I'll probably go grab some Mafex figures because I think that Mando is just so much better. I have the SHF Mando, and I think that Mafex one is just so much better than the SHF one. It's insane. Mr. Martin, I want the Meisho movie realization Obi-Wan when it drops. I forgot about that Obi-Wan. He looks really good, too. Skew, that's good progress. 157K. I hope that elephant is imminent in the line in the Kickstarter or just period. Epic looking character. I'm gonna have to go find that elephant. Rick, yeah, I have 3 of the movie realization. I was gifted Kylo Ren when he came out. I don't think I've seen the Kylo one. For X-Men, for X-Men. Good Lord, guys. Hold on. Time out. Clearly, I need a swig. Much better. I'm much calmer now. I don't think that's true. Anyway, I was gifted Kylo Ren when he came out. For Christmas, I gifted myself the Daimyo Boba Fett and just picked up Darth Maul. Those are so cool, man. Like I said, I've seen the Boba. I've seen the Darth Maul. I'm going to have to look up the Kylo Ren, I think. Yes, I wish I went after that Lone Wolf and Cub, Din, and Grogu. Yeah, man, that thing's ridiculous. I thought about it for a long time. It didn't necessarily fit the collection, but it looked so good. There's still 29 days in the AWOC campaign. Anything is still possible. That's true. And with as much as you guys have going right now with it, we all know that the last couple days get crazy. See, speaking of De-Amazing and Robo and everybody, the Vamp reviews are Lake Michigan being cupped crazy drops. Loving it. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to drink out of Lake Michigan, but the Vamp looks insane. I was sitting on my couch working on the laptop like I do, and I had Veebs and Robo's live stream from yesterday going on, and people were giving Veebs so much crap as he was putting together the Vamp. I was dying, and poor Robo was back there. I think he wanted to die a little bit too. He was laughing, but trying to hold it in because you could see that Beebs was actually like, anyway, I thought it was funny because I'm a sick, sick human being. Darth Vader. OGSHF New Hope guys started to get reissues like Farm Boy Luke. I saw Farm Boy Luke got one. Let's see. Hope other ones get a reissue, especially Chewie. Yeah, Chewie would be good. I need Han. There's so much I need. I need Leia. I know some of these aren't crazy expensive on the secondary. I mean, they're all crazy expensive compared to what they came out at. But yeah, that's a line that I wish I hadn't missed out on. Check Brick Stream. I remember when they showed that comic early on was wowed. Are you talking about the elephant? My assumption is yes. Mr. Martin, I second more reissues of original trilogy SHF figures, especially Chewie. Yeah, there's so much I need. I was working on my resume today, and I was just hitting my head against the wall. I'm like, I have no idea what direction to take this because I know a bunch about a lot of things that has to do with like branding and marketing and graphics. Like, what do I even say on this thing at this point? It's all kinds of confusion. But whenever I get whatever I get, I'll be going back and getting some of this stuff. That's basically the point I'm trying to make. All right, so let's jump to the next one here. We have Gresh, and this guy, I don't know. You know what? The only thing that's kind of stopping me from being stoked about this guy, and I can't even be angry about it because I think it's fairly accurate when you're talking color, but it's that the green isn't just a little more vibrant. But I love that his eyes are that they move independently. I think that's hilarious, and it's great attention to detail. And maybe when he comes out, he'll be a little different than what he shows up here as. And maybe I won't care, and I'll think he's ridiculous enough to just get him anyway because he does look good. I'm telling you, this is one of those lines I am truly, genuinely scared to jump in on because I don't have that crazy control. I will grab one of these and it's going to be over. And when it comes to Action Force, I've talked a lot about getting the Urban Commando. I know the second I pick up one of those, next thing I know, I'm going to want to buy like 2 or 3 a week. And that's a problem. That's something that I'm just not quite there yet for. But AWOC is one of those lines, as I'm sure Monster Force is going to be, all that stuff. And Mr. Stabby would really hate me. Ah, there we go. That's the man right there. Hannibal. It's too bad they didn't have a character on here called Achilles. That would have been kind of funny. Just, a big old throwdown. That would have been fun. But I'm not actually holding it against them. I think this figure is incredible. See, yeah, they went over an early AWOC issue on Brick's AWOC lore review stream. Elephant looks fire. Oh boy. Thanks. Yeah, on my channel, we're trying to go through the AWOC comic and have interviewed the artist, Utama, and writer-creator, Jason. Then on Highly Articulated, we do live Q&A, etc. Yeah, I wasn't around yesterday. I know I want to check out your stream, so I will be sure to do that this Sunday because I want to know more, and if I can, I'll try and catch. The problem is, like, when I'm actually sitting there working on the couch, I'm not paying a lot of attention to the streams, so I wouldn't want to miss something. So I've got to block out the time so I can make it happen. I was in as soon as I saw Crash. See, and that works for me. We've done issues 1 through 4. Still have to finish 4 editing. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I gotta hit up your channel for sure. See, Gresh has a great snake, Alted. Ooh. I need to look at stuff. I need to pay more attention when I do find stuff, obviously. Ah, push the button, Dave. Bully Goma! Hello there, Dave. How you doing? I want to say finally get Wolverine and Venom from Mayfax. Oh, you did? Oh, that's nice, Bully. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I still have missed Wolvie, and I'm not sure how crazy. I'll get Venom eventually, but the one that I need to get is that Wolverine, and it's driving me crazy. But I'm glad you got him. He looks phenomenal. Skew Raider, to be clear, the Elephant Stream comic is from a while back, so replay crew permatime on all of them. Great stuff to understand the lore. Really helped me. I will definitely go back and find a bunch of those. All right, let's see here. Then we've got the old heavy infantry. I can't remember. There's a technical name here. I do like the color on this one. I like kind of just the opposite, the contrast going on here between the oranges, like kind of the red orange and the blue. I think it's almost, not even almost, I think it's perfect. The only thing would be for real contrast to maybe have just a little less armor and a little more of the orange showing. But again, I wouldn't hold that against them. I think this thing looks incredible. Stupid animal warriors of the kingdom, making me want to spend money. Jerks. All right, now we have our first street shark, and that is Jab, it looks like. Again, I saved this image just because it was a square I could fit easily into the newsletter, but I think these figures are really going to be a lot of fun for kids. I think they're going to be really a lot of fun for parents. I think they're going to be great fun for people that were really into street sharks. I don't know, like, there's a lot of people that are into Origins, and I think that this is going to hit the same kind of sweet spot nostalgia-wise, and I couldn't be happier for the people that are going to be really stoked, or that are really stoked about these things, because they do look like a blast. They crack me up. Oh, then we have Kali Prime. That's not a real Prime, by the way. I don't see a single matrix on that figure. So I just want to be clear. I don't think he's using any kind of Transformers hardware. Skew Raider, they still do the streams, but just clearing up what I'm referencing. I'm happy the elephant, is up for consideration to go with Thane, Hannibal, all the cool kids. Line is cool. It is. And I'm not hating on the line at all. I want the line, and therein lies the problem. I definitely need to pick up some of these. Oh, die wallet, die. That heavy infantry lizard guy has a cool horned lizard alt head. That'd be sweet. I wonder, it's got to be that I just totally missed that when I was going through a bunch of stuff. See, the Matrix is buried in his chest. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. We'd have to peel it apart. Like, I don't know, man. I don't see the chest articulation there, Brick. You're not wrong. Okay, hold on. We got to look now. I got to be crazier here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe what we do is we pop his head off and pull out the Matrix through his neck because we're really feeling gruesome. Ooh, I'm picturing a lot of blood effects now. I've got blood effects. I need to use the blood effects more in my photos. But yeah, I love these. I think some of my favorite figures from this line just to look at are the big bruiser looking dudes like this, which is kind of weird because I prefer the little plunderling guys. I think those are way cooler than the bigger ones. But here, yeah, I think the big bruisers kind of have me. It's all insanity is what it is. Skew Raider, bananas are ready. Need steaks from action stuff now too, and whatever else they eat. Ooh, I hear, let's see, what would be, Kali would be a chimpanzee, I believe. And apparently chimps eat a lot of monkeys. So we wouldn't want to have Kali Prime hanging out with Sun Wukong. That'd be bad. It's bad. All right. Let's go back through here. Here we have kanji. People love them some kanji. I love me some kanji as well. Seriously, when I see this guy, I'm like, okay, I should go back and get the Black Series rabbit. Was it Jackson? Was that his name? I think maybe I need that. Clearly, I've got some Usagis. I get kanji. There's the samurai rabbit that's coming out from Fury Toys or Furay Planet, I think it is. There's all kinds of bunnies coming out. And then you've got the crazy little bunny girls that they keep coming out with over in Japan. So I think you could have a pretty good sized bunny display. Although this one's going to look a little meaner than most of them, I have to say. Aside from maybe that Furay Planet. And then you've got like a huge bunny. And then you've got kanji, this bunny. And then you've got like this Usagi is kind of an adorable little Usagi bunny. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't quite match the aesthetic of the others. But I'm just making things up as I go along at this point. But yeah, that'd be fun to just have this wacky little bunny setup. Skew Raider, peanuts if they do the elephant. That's true. You definitely, though, I don't think you're going to want them to come up with a circus set unless you want the elephant to just totally wreck the tent. That'd be kind of funny, though. You know what? Let's do it. Let's get a Barnum and Bailey circus tent and just have all the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom go nuts on it. Yes, Jackson is Black Series. Team Rabbit season. And that's, Jada. Jada, please. I'm not saying this to any other company out there. You, Jada, bring me Looney Tunes. Please, bring me Looney Tunes. Look at this thing. Look at what you did with Chester. This is perfect proportioning for Looney Tunes. Bring me, you look at this thing. This is Bugs Bunny. Swap out the head, change the tail a little bit so that, it's a fluffy bunny tail instead of a long cheetah tail. Just bring me Looney Tunes, man. I don't know if there's a big call for Looney Tunes. I think people my age would love Looney Tunes. But what about people a little younger than me who really don't even know what Looney Tunes are? Except maybe there was some exposure in Animaniacs. I need Looney Tunes. I'm that guy. And now we have Lady Jadu. And these are really cool. I like what they did proportionally on these. Like they look really sly, kind of just slim fighters with like the sharp, blunt objects. Sharp and blunt. I went opposite there, kids. It might be maybe they stab with the sharp and then hitting the head with the blunt end of the handle. There you go. I fixed it. I didn't fix it. But yeah, I think the form of these figures are really good. I can see like kind of the monkey shape going on. But yeah, man, I love the indie stuff. I do. I just need to get more of it without feeling like, oh God, the wallet's going to kill me. And now we have the MDLX Toon Colors Megatron. And I have to say, I actually really like when they update stuff. And the other Megatron, the first one that came out, its chest is a little more, I don't have him on the desk. His chest is a little more just out a bit. It's not so flat. And I love the updated look, but I really love this look as well. I don't think you can go wrong if you're into the MDLX stuff. If you're not, game on, because you save a lot of money. These things are not cheap. So that's why I haven't been getting quite all the repaints. When this line first started, I thought, I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to get it all. They're treating all these figures and all these characters with respect. And then they came out with Cliff Jumper, and I realized, oh, never mind. They're not treating all these characters with respect. So at that point, I felt like I had permission to no longer get all the repaints, because that cliff jumper, it would have been better if they had just made a red Bumblebee, which for all intents and purposes they did, except for the head. It made me sad because Cliff Jumper was my very first, he and Gears were my first two Transformers. Anyway, this is about Megatron, and I think he looks good, but I know it seems like in the chat, not everybody's as stoked about MDLX as I am, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm just judging all of you. Ah, yeah. Hi, that's me, being a jerk. Skew Raider, Chester is keeping it cheesy. Looney Tunes would be awesome too. Chester is fire and goes crunch. He does. He does. Chester is awesome, and Chester is the perfect thing to walk into Warner Brothers with and say, guys, it's Wabbit season. We're doing bugs because Kanji needs a buddy to hang out with. I would take a Jada Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. I think these proportions are pretty good for Wile E. Coyote too. Like, really, the proportions work for so many of them. Yeah, man. Come on, Jada. Come on. We need all these. I would go nuts for a Jada Looney Tunes line. Like, we've seen other people go nuts about certain lines just because, oh my gosh, they finally released them. If I got a full-on Looney Tunes line, that's the line I would go nuts for. And if Jada made it, it'd just be icing on the cake. AWOC, the figures feel great. They pose great, and they are quality. Hands, joints, sculpts, etc. Fire! Dang it, Skew. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? Which, tell you what, guys, who is your favorite current from Series 1? Who is your favorite AWOC figure? Let me know that. Let's see, the women in AWOC are long overdue. Jadu is my favorite from what's being offered. She looks really cool. I don't know that I'd say, though, long overdue, only because they were trying to get some mold reuse. I mean, we all know how that is in that first wave. Actually, the fact that the women show up in the second crew, I think, is pretty good. I love what Vala's doing with Action Force, and it took the third wave before women started showing up there. So I'm kind of stoked. I think they're doing AWOC's kind of ahead of the curve, I think. Wile E. Coyote and Bring Them All On. That would be fire. Marvin the Martian, all the classics. Man, okay, so who wouldn't work with this kind of butt? Taz, like Tasmanian Devil. They would need to do something different with him, but the way that they're doing all kinds of different shapes for the Street Fighter line, they could totally pull it off. But yeah, Marvin the Martian would have to be a little smaller. I think the proportions would be about the same, though. Maybe his head would be a little bigger than the other characters. I'm trying to remember exactly how all that worked for them. Brick, ooh, a Jada Wiley would be great, Jeremiah. Their M. Bison went up for pre-order today. Looks great. Saw a cool review this morning on Toy Migos. Man, yeah, we talked about the M. Bison and Dalsim earlier in the stream. And yeah, Jada's ridiculous. Like, it's almost unfair to other companies. I said it earlier on this, but I think the only $25 line that comes close is G.I. Joe, like classified. And they're not as, what's the word? They're not as consistent with their offering in the packages. Like, I know this is something that the G.I. Joe team probably doesn't want to hear. You don't even need to, and most fans, they don't even need to make the weapons for the figures. Just have the figures come with extra hands and heads, and I'll go somewhere else and get weapons for them just so they can be more consistent about what they offer in the pack. Like, that's something I really love about what Jada's doing with Street Fighter and everything, is there's an extra head, there's extra hands. There's an extra head and hands in Mega Man figures, and they're $20. Ah, it's ridiculous. Such good stuff. And this is why our wallets hate us. I hate that disrespecting Cliff Jumper has to become the status quo. I fully agree, man. Like, all they would have had to do was change the mold of the feet. Now, I'm saying this like I'm a toy designer, and this is super simple. I don't know. My gut is it's not as simple as I'm thinking, but it's far simpler than redesigning a figure from the ground up. So my thought is if they just made the feet different and made the chest different so that he had the spoiler, that would have done it. I would have been totally sold on Cliffjumper. As he was done, I would have much rather they just put a red bumblebee head on him, because honestly, I probably would have picked that up. But Cliffjumper made me sad. Skew, keep talking about MDLX. We love Transformers. Stabby just limits the pickups. Talking, let's see, is vicariously rewarding. We want to know what you pick up because we all can't get everything and cheer you on. You know what? Yeah, none of us can get it all, that's for sure. And I've really limited, I've curbed the spending quite a bit so far, but some of that's necessitated. And once I get whatever I get, I'm not sure how much I'll be able to control myself. It could get ugly. Thane. All right, Mr. Spencer, thank you. He was the one, and I think you said it's kind of my fault that you went nuts on Thane, but yeah, Thane's the one that I see, and I'm just like, ooh, that's a necessity. Mr. Martinez, thank you for stopping by, and hello to you as well. We've had the lively chat. The people are enjoying themselves, I fully believe. I gotta tell you, Dave, pick up Kanji, my best advice to start, to go with Usagi. They all are great. I picked up Pale and Blight. I can't picture Blight. I can picture Pale. Which one was Blight? I need to know these things. I need to look things up. See, it's actually not the second. Oh, really? The women are wave 6. We've had waves 1 and 2 from the first Kickstarter. Wave 3 of mostly reissues just shipped. Wave 4 is on the water. Wave 5 are Hannibal, etc. Holy crap, man. I truly thought that basically we had the first wave last year and this was the second wave. But thank you for correcting me because, well, I don't like to spread total misinformation, but that's still pretty cool. Like I'm just stoked that they're getting so much done. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. This is something where I should probably be on the ball a little better. See, the women are way back in wave 6 and they're key characters to the lore. Dang it. I'm going to be watching your live stream very, very soon. Obviously, I need to figure this stuff out. Let's see, all good though. I get the reasons. It's so hard, man. It's so hard. It's not really that difficult to keep up on stuff. I was doing it for a while pretty well. It's just time at this moment in life is tough to keep up, but I'll get back to it. I'll hopefully not make all those mistakes too often. Got to tell you how good they are, so they will be considered. Don't worry, they are definitely considered. Like I say, I pick one up though, and I don't know what's going to happen. That's the problem. They are quality and will fit in with what you're getting. Get what you like as you can. I'm catching up myself. I understand. See, you get it. You get it. But you also know, the rabbit hole that starting any of these collections can bring. That's one of my, that's a weakness of mine. For sure. Like I need to start the game with focus or I'm hosed. AWOP, the ladies are cool, especially the way y'all explain them, Brick. Dang. I need to be home more on the weekends, clearly, so I can watch Brick Sunday stream. The Megatron you have on screen is cool looking. I can appreciate the new take. I only have 2 modern T-formers, Super 7 Prime, signed by Colin. Dude, that's awesome. And YOLO Park's Megatron. Love it. I will say, I was talking all big about YOLO Park way back. I was like, if I pick those up, I could just get Prime and Megatron. But Prime and Megatron look so good, and they're just updated enough from their toon look that they really do look good, that if they kept going, I might be hosed. And I know they're going to keep going. They may have even shown prototypes already. But yeah, YOLO Park is one of those lines that I'm paying attention to and a little worried about. Well, I can't blame it all on you. I chatted with some of the guys from Spiro Toys at a toy show, and they helped sell it. Well, yeah, I can see where they'd help sell it. But yeah, Thane is the beast. When I saw him, I was just like, wow. And Monkey, Gorilla. Not really Monkey, But still, he probably eats monkeys. Now, gorillas, I heard, are mostly vegetarian. Anyway, they're big. Monkeys that are gorillas. I'm going to stop now. Brick. Blight is the black-furred clone of Pale. Cool blue mohawk. Okay, I know which figure you're talking about now. I just, for whatever reason, couldn't picture him. Skew Raider. Blight was a black version of Pale. I put the Caesar from POTA looking chimpanzee head on it. Love it. The custom head packs are great too. I'm not picking up everything at once. I only pick up faves. See, that would be like I was talking about with the Urban Commando. I might try and pick up one, but then suddenly next week I might try and pick up three. And then I want to build out my army so I get the rest of what I'm planning on getting. It's a dangerous slide for yours truly, guys. But it is something I'm going to want to get. And I guess Valaverse announced that they're going to tell us tomorrow when the Vanguard pre-orders stop. And now I'm sweating bullets. It'll get crazy. Brick, all good, Toypixx. That's why I started the AWOT content on my channel, because there hasn't been enough out there. Well, I appreciate it, man, and I will be checking it out. And I'm glad you started it, because it needs to be seen. I mean, they are incredible figures. First thing, come back as money allows. Last year was crazy, still catching up. You know, and that's kind of something. Like if I did pick one up and I decided I needed them all, I'd have to start with last year's stuff and catch up on this year's. Otherwise, things would just sell out too fast and I'd be going on the secondary, and then my wallet would really kill me. I'm not a completist on any line. I often grab one or two for science, but I do go hard on Legions and AWOC. Yeah, I've been pretty good about not being a completist, but it's one of those things where you pick up one and you're just going, this is really good. Why wouldn't I get more? And from everything you guys are saying, AWOC is one of those lines. I also have a lot of Masterverse, but I'm trying to be much more selective on that. I've seen Snout Spout. People seem stoked about Snout Spout. Did you pick him up? Because he looks good. If they had ball peg waists, I might end up having to get some of those. Yes, I agree with you about Yellow Park. I'm also ready to pull the trigger. That Megatron looks fantastic. Yeah, man. They all look, it's ridiculous how good that stuff looks. It's ridiculous how good so many companies are making their stuff these days. Spaded One McDysentery, thank you for stopping by. Hola, senors. Jada Dalsim and Bison are showing up in my area, and I'm itching like a fiend to find them. I still haven't seen Ken in my area, and you're getting Dalsim and M. Bison. This is sadness on my part. But I am in the Midwest, and we seem to never get anything on time. Alex, I can't recommend that Megatron enough. Beautiful and poses so well. Of course, it doesn't transform, but poses so well, I don't care. Yep, and that's how I feel about MDLX. Like, I thought MDLX will be the only line I need, and then everybody talking about Megatron, CM Prime. I don't know that that's going to be true. I love Transformers. I did. Snout Spout is on its way. Nice. Because he looks really good. And that's coming from somebody that's not really a Masterverse guy. AWOC is still catch-upable this year, I believe. Good to start now. Mythic Legions is the opposite of catch-upable. This is true. Like, Mythic Legions scares me. Key is, with any line, get what you really have as a favorite and let Stabby guide. Stabby should never guide. Stabby would start guiding by stabbing me because I was looking at stuff. It's an angry wallet, I'm telling you. That said, get what you can and like with Mythic. Like, for instance, Figura Obscura or Cosmic Legions or the Knights. So much out. I just get what I can or what really is fire to me. And that tends to be how I collect most things. But I am worried about AWOC. Figure Obscura, like most of Mythics, just because of limited elbow and knee range. More so elbow. I mean, knee doesn't bother me when they can't get ridiculous. But elbow range kind of limits what I want to get there because I really like those like tight in shots. But the figure obscura headless horseman, that's one that I keep looking at and saying, oh, hello there, secondary market. Not the one with the green flames, the original one. I think that thing looks incredible. Mr. Martin, Motu Origins Cyclone is coming to Mattel Creations on Thursday. I remember Cyclone. I actually had Cyclone way back when as a kid, and I thought he was kind of cool. So, yeah, I can see people being pretty stoked about Cyclone, especially with it looks like they're coming really close to completing a lot of stuff with Origins. I saw Ken in a local Target last weekend, passed. Only have Chun-Li and Fei Long. Went back Tuesday, all three were gone. Man, I got to tell you, and this might be just because it was the first one I found and I picked it up and I was blown away. I think Ryu is really good. Now, I've got to go back and I've got to replace my Fei Long because I got him in the first batch. And so his diaphragm doesn't quite line up. It's a little tough to articulate. And it sounds like that was a first batch thing. Chun-Li is awesome. But Ryu, like from the ones that I got, the first three, which were Ryu, Chun-Li, and Fei Long, Ryu was my favorite. Just because of the way he posed, I think. But again, I think Fei Long would have been my favorite just because, you know, if his posing worked the way it should have, it would have been phenomenal. Alex, that brick something awesome. Thank you very much. All right, I added the very much. Mr. Spencer, the only Mythic Legion that I had to get was the Riding Bear. How can I not get a Riding Bear? I fully agree. And then when they were announcing that, there were all kinds of Cocaine Bear jokes on here. Oh, I almost feel like I almost have to go and find that thing. I thought it was a blast. So let's go see what else I've got on here. See, this one with the colors. I think she's really cool. Mother Mala. And that sword. Ooh, I don't know. You know, I've seen these pictures several times now, and I'm just now looking and being like, that's kind of a fire sword or an energy sword of some kind. And that crazy big ice shield. Mother Mala is crazy. Sorry, I'm kind of quiet because I'm just looking at all the color and everything else on Mother Mala. That looks really cool. And I do love how a lot of companies are really getting into making the females as cool as the males. Because for a long time, that just wasn't happening. And she looks incredible. And now we have a Kamen Rider guy. Next Phase or something. I don't know. I have just Next Phase in there listed. And yeah, again, SHF crushes it with Kamen Rider as far as I know. It's not something I've gotten into, but I always love the look of the figures. There's plenty of extras. This is going to be a great figure to take pictures of, period. And if you're into Kamen Rider, you may pick him up. Although I have to say, most of the time we do these live streams, I love the look of these things, but it doesn't seem to create that much chatter. So it must be that D Amazing is not doing his job by getting people into Kamen Rider. I'll have to send them like a tweet or something and say, dude, you got to step it up because people in my live stream are not excited about these things like I think they should be. Of course, I say that. I haven't picked one up either, so I can't really judge anybody on that one. And there's the big kahuna. This is the man. This Prime does have a matrix in his chest. And I know that because I have the original one and his chest is attached with magnets and you pull the whole chest off and there's a matrix under there. And he is awesome. Like I love this Optimus Prime figure, at least the one I have. Like I said, he was my figure of the year. I think, yeah, just last year. He was not last year, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, 2022. Figure of the year. This is just the updated paint scheme with the Toon colors. And I have to say, as much as I'm not a Toon color fan and all that stuff and a Toon mold fan, I do think these figures, the MDLX figures, look good in Toon colors Just not good enough for me to pull the trigger. And I have to say, especially, I love the way they did the windows on this Optimus Prime. I think that looks really cool. But yeah, just a big fan. I will say, if I ever stop talking about Kamen Rider because people aren't so stoked, even if people aren't crazy stoked about MDLX, I will continue talking about them because I love the new design take that they're taking with them. Ah, Ripsta. There's another Street Shark for everybody. Another thing for the collectors from, I don't know, what was this, the early 90s? They can pick him up. They can put him on their shelf. They can have a blast with him. He's Origin style. He looks fun, no doubt. And the kids can take photos of him, and we can get them into toy photography and maybe keep the action figure game going because kids get into toy photography. We shall see. Yeah, man, I think he looks good. Like, I mean, it's not something that I'll pick up, but I love the look of this thing. He just looks mean, and he looks, I guess, 90s rific would be one way to put it. But yeah, ridiculousness with Ripsta. Spaded one. I'm lucky. My collecting is all nostalgia driven. No new properties or characters I didn't love growing up. So TMNT mostly. You are lucky. My problem is I keep looking at all this stuff and I'm going, oh man, that's so good. And the turtles still, I love what NECA's doing. So this is, in fact, I was about to kind of say NECA needs to step it up with articulation, but then I think about my last Ronin Raphael. No, I think NECA's actually in a pretty sweet spot going on right now. So fire away on the TMNT, man. They are good figures for sure. And I wonder, are you getting the IDW figures as well from Best Action? I wonder about those a little bit. I know that like the elbow joints and the knee joints are a little funky, but I think the sculpts look really good on those things. But mostly I think we're looking at NECA stuff. Skew Raider. That's why AWOC will be enjoyed for what your criteria is, Dave. You are correct. That kept me away from Mythic. I had a couple, but sold them. I like the line, just going to root the peeps on to enjoy them. Yeah, man. I mean, when I sit here and I say the reason that I don't get these things and I list off whatever, it's not at all to discourage others from picking them up. It's just not my preference for the photos. But if somebody else loves them, dude, by all means, grab those things because I'm never going to fault somebody for picking up a Mythic Legions or a Cosmic Legions or a Figura Obscura figure because they all look incredible. What would I fault people for picking up? Marvel Legends. I would fault all of you for picking up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Settle down. Really, it's DC Multiverse. Still kidding. Kind of. All right. Brick. Yeah, it makes sense to pass on Legion stuff if you need a certain level of articulation. AWOC, however, hand candy. Damn you, Brick! I will definitely be picking some of these up. Oh, boy. Definitely picking up all Jada SF2. Yeah, that's one line. Like, I do want to kind of go all in on Jada, as messed up as that sounds, especially when I don't have an attachment really to any of the properties they've released. Ha, Skew, we're sharing a brain. Yeah, and I'm not saying I said no attachment. I have an attachment to Street Fighter, but I don't have much of an attachment to Mega Man or any of the Universal monsters, and especially like the new line they're coming out with, kind of a cyberpunky type line. Maybe it's cyberpunk, I don't know. But I just love what they're doing, and they really give a crap, and it shows, and they're keeping the prices so they're not insane. So I love what Jada's doing. I don't know. Facts. I just have to catch up on AWOC this year. Joe has not been playing with me at all. Catching up on that and Action Force, then definitely getting AWOC. Thanks again for going over AWOC. No problem, man. I mean, good figures are good figures, whether I've got them or not. And AWOC definitely qualifies. Yep, the magic effects come off. Oh, okay. come off the sword for, what was it? The Mother Mala, I believe. Those Common Rider figs are great. Awesome, John. Do you end up picking up some of those? Because I do think they look good. I just don't know enough about Common Rider to go nuts on them. Rick, those Common Riders all look gorgeous. Love the unique designs. I know, I know. I'm a big fan. I think they look great. Again, I don't know anything about the property, but just looks alone, they're incredible. Cocaine Bear is fire. I'm telling you, just pick up some flour and have some fun. Rick, as a kid, I was always intrigued by the magazines in Japantown that covered Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Ultraman. Those designs are just too cool. Tokusatsu. Ultraman. Okay, so Ultraman, I do know Ultraman. Super Sentai is what we saw as Power Rangers, right? I think I'm there. I don't know my Toku stuff quite so well, but it's something I kind of want to learn about a little more just because of how good the Kamen Rider stuff looks. Nah, I can't stand the best action. There's enough NECA TMNT to keep me on the straight and narrow. That's true. And really, if you go out best action style, I don't know, man. That almost would water down what you're doing with NECA, I'm sure. How about the Playmates, though? If the Playmates turtles are actually kind of going a little Motu origin style, like has been hypothesized, would you guys go nuts on those? Because I might actually be tempted, and those aren't my scale or anything. Jericho, I'm still waiting, let's see, for NECA to re-release the TMNT cartoon 2-pack of Shredder and Krang. Last two holes in my cartoon collection. Wow, man. That is so cool that you're that close to completing a collection. That is crazy. Hopefully they'll do that re-release because those do seem like two characters that they could re-release and sell fine. Waiting, not eating. No, no worries. I don't think Shredder would taste very good, and you'd probably cut up your stomach a little bit. Even if the plastic made it down there at all, it might tear up your esophagus on the way. LOL, I'm opening a Marvel Legend right now. Magneto 97. You're good, man. I'm just playing. Who's stoked about that cartoon? I'm actually really excited about that. See, same. I'm pretty much just missing that 1-2-pack. Oh, you hear him, NECA. You gotta do that. You know that people will buy Shredder and Krang. Yep, sure, it will get a restock. A lot of companies are doing that right now. I can't imagine NECA won't jump on that train, especially for two highly popular characters like that. Harry, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. That's it, cheesy radio announcer voice guy. Mr. Spencer, I haven't picked any up, but I'd consider it, even with the potential scale issues with what I collect. The Kamen Rider. Yeah, that's the one thing. If SHF up their sizing just a little bit, that'd help us all out a little bit more. AR, hi, man. Thank you for stopping in. We're talking Street Sharks a little bit, a lot of AWOC, some Transformers when I try and force those into the conversation. Rick, yep, you got it. Super Sentai was localized in the States as Power Rangers. All right, cool beans. That was something I thought was the deal, but I wasn't 100%. Spaded one. Oh, they straight up announced the Origin Style TMNT. Picks are up online, Walmart exclusive. I saw that they said more articulation and all that stuff. I wondered if they're kind of the same. So like at the elbow, does it have, obviously it'll have the 90-degree bend or whatever, but does it also have the swivel? This is swivel. Like those are the things I'm wondering. But yeah, I am tempted by those, as weird as that seems. AR, sorry I'm late. I was doing a stop motion with RID 2005 Twinferno. Dude, anytime you're doing a stop motion, that takes so much time. I'm not going to bust anybody on being late. I'm not going to bust anybody on being late anyway, but that's awesome that you're working on those. See, Twinferno has an awesome design. It's a shame the figure sucks. That's rough. When you see something and you know it just looks so awesome, but then you get it in hand and you're like, oh. See, Walmart's distribution sucks booty cheeks. I found out I have a Walmart to me much closer than I thought I did, but yeah, I haven't gone in there in a while. Any Walmart, not just that one, because you know. Okay, now we have more Street Sharkness with Slash, which seems like a weird name for him with like a screwdriver nose thing or a drill nose. Like, why wouldn't he be drill bits or something, aside from maybe taking a trademark deal from Transformers? I mean, it's more Street Sharks, more stuff that people that love Street Sharks are going to get into. I love the designs. They're not something I'm going to pick up. But again, if it's something like they're super colorful and crazy looking, so if kids dig them and it helps get them into action figure photography, there's nothing wrong with that. I will support this whole line wholeheartedly. I will talk about it ad nauseum just so that the kids could have some fun. All right, now here's one of those bunny style girls, Veronica Sweetheart, and I believe she was some kind of bunny edition. And this is what I'm talking about. We've got all kinds of actual rabbits coming out. And then I think we've talked about 3 of these kinds of figures that are rabbit themed or bunny themed or something like that. Imagine the bunny shelf that would include Usagi Yojimbo, Kanji, the huge rabbit like the samurai rabbit from Furay Planet, and then figures like this just on this shelf of bunny goodness. It would crack me up. This one comes up with all kinds of stuff, and it always cracks me up that in a lot of these figures, like I guess anime or manga style figures from Japan, it always cracks me up the figures that come with ginormous swords, when no matter how strong the figure looks, and she looks like she's probably in shape, but she doesn't look crazy mighty, but no matter how strong the figure looks, they've got massive swords. So yeah, it cracks me up and it looks super rad. So I got nothing against that. AR, I wish that Hasbro would make an official Anode figure. I don't know that one. Usually when you're talking, I know the character you're talking about, but I don't know who Anode is. See, a notice from IDW, The Lost. Okay, all right, that helps some. Trying to remember, they had a couple characters there that weren't super popular that line or that comic made popular. Let's see, Hario. She is booty themed. I mean, I'm going with bunny themed. Let's see here. Let's go find her somewhere. I think I found her on Big Bad. Veronica Sweetheart. Ah, stop talking, phone. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. And don't worry, I will share the screen once I find her. Yep, this was it. Okay. Dope. Okay, here we go. Let's grab. Sharing screen now. So it was, let's see, bunny suit Veronica Sweetheart, I've decided. Or it looks like that's what she's actually called. Hold on, we'll go back so we can see. Bunny Suit Planning Figma number 625, Veronica Sweetheart. So I'm assuming maybe Bunny Suit Planning is the name of the anime or manga or something. But you can see kind of the rabbit ears going on here. The massive crazy sword. That stuff always cracks me up. Like, she doesn't crack me up like Milk Tea Girl cracks me up. And then the rabbit themed figure that comes with, or that you can buy the big rabbit bike for. Like, those figures crack me up. This one's not funny like that, but she comes with a ton of stuff, and you know that she's going to be like, she's going to be well articulated. We can see all that as we look through these pictures. What's that going on there? They got her on the ground with a couple crazy energy swords. I guess more, they're kind of swords. Axes? Energy axes? Yeah, she's ridiculous. But again, she's cool and she'll make for great photos, but she's not hilarious like the ones I was talking about earlier. Like Bunny, what was it? Something Eileen, and then the rabbit type vehicle that she came with, I just thought was hilarious. Bunny Girl Eileen, I think is what it was. And it's crazy because that's the stuff we find. Like when I get on Big Bad Toy Store, most of when I click the anime and import section, what I get is statues. There's very few figures, and the figures I tend to find look like this. So the Japanese get to make stuff that the American companies clearly do not get to make. Let's see, for real. See, more teammates for Milk Tea Girl. See, I don't think this one probably wouldn't land on the shelf at all. Milk Tea Girl, hilarious just because of the way they marketed her. This one looks cool, and I love that there's the bunny theme going on again, just because that seems to be a crazy thing they're doing now. It's almost like last year was the year of the rabbit, and they put them all in development so all these rabbit-style figures could show up last year, and then delays made it so it didn't happen. I don't know. But there's so many rabbits popping up that I have to think there's something there, which makes me think this year, if we get a bunch of dragons, that'd be awesome. And I think that was hinted in the Marvel Legends live stream that it's the year of the dragon, guys. So I am wondering if Fin Fang Foom is coming in the next HasLab. We'll see. I didn't think Giant Man would do well, but he crushed it. So Fin Fang Foom, I don't think he'll do well, but if he's the one coming, he might crush it too. Clearly, my radar's a little off on these things. My chat is being weird. That's okay, AR. We'll see. Maybe my chat's being weird too. Let's see. It kept saying error. Try again. Huh. I don't know what's going on. I can still see my chat on the side of the screen. Usually a reset does something, but who knows? I'm not sure. Shot you a pic of those Origin style TMNT to check out on your own time so you don't gotta go searching. Appreciate it, sir. I think I've seen one picture. They all come with bases, right? Where they had all four of them together. But yeah, I'll definitely look at it again because I'm curious about those things. John, I'd go in on Fin Fang Foom. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, clearly I'm not much of a prognosticator. A lot of syllables. I'm not very smart. See, already had that. Let's see here. Push the button, Dave. You can do it. That's a great call, Dave. He might crush it too. Fin Fang Foom. He's a big green dragon. I can see you're the dragon having a big green dragon showing up on Instagram. Got it, Spaded One. I appreciate it. I'll be sure to check that out. AR, let's see. Harry, do you have a different channel name than your handle? Let's see. Can't find. All right, let's see here. I think we're closing in. Let me go back to this. It's me again. My apologies, guys. That's scary. Scary. And let's find. We'll go back because I think there's at least one more figure here. More SHF goodness with Whale Moses. I don't know about you, but Whale Moses doesn't exactly conjure up this image in my head. It feels like a big whale, maybe waving around a staff of some sort, a big bearded whale with a staff or like a walking stick, maybe, or something, swimming along in the ocean, trying to deliver his whale people from, say, the Red Sea, although whales probably can't really hang out in the Red Sea. Let's see, trying to deliver them from, say, the Atlantic Ocean to perhaps the Indian Ocean. This is what Whale Moses feels like to me. But clearly, that is not what Whale Moses is. And again, we have a very cool looking figure here. And again, it's a cool looking figure that I know nothing about. But I know if you do, you're going to enjoy shooting this guy. Brick. See, speaking of that, let's see. Oh, this is the Four Horsemen's 25th anniversary, the 10th anniversary of Mythic Legions and Year of the Dragon. Lots of fan hope chatter that we might get a Marvel Legends dragon or a Mythic Legions dragon this year. That would be, see, a Mythic Legions dragon. I was very tempted by the bear. I did kind of want that bear. A dragon, I would probably go pretty nuts for. That's kind of funny. Like, my niece doesn't have much exposure to this kind of stuff just because crazy nerdy Uncle Dave isn't always around her. But we were looking at a lot of the collector style stuff on Target's wall once, and she looked at the dragon, one of the McFarlane dragons, and she's like, "Oh, this is cool." And now I'm thinking, "Ooh, we could maybe have something with a bunch of dragons with the niece." The sister would really appreciate that, I'm sure. AR Moses, I'm all for Christianity. Moses was, let's see, yeah, he would fit in with the Torah and the Bible. But yeah, that's what I was picturing. This is not the guy I was picturing for Whale Moses. Yeah, not familiar, but cool look. Whale Moses. That's what I'm saying. Cool look. Definitely somebody that's gonna look good. Rick, oh no, if Whale Moses parts the ocean and gets beached, oh no. And you got to imagine, just before Whale Moses gets to the Indian Ocean, he's got to get beached or something. Like just before he can see the Indian Ocean, and he gets beached on an island somewhere. That would be a sad way to go for Whale Moses. I can see it now though. You got a whale just sitting there parting the ocean. That would be insane. Skew Raider, Mythic Dragon as well would be fire. Yeah, I have to say I would probably go in on a Mythic Legions Dragon before I went in on a Fin Fang Foom. I just think the detail would be ridiculous. Skew, Cocaine Bear eats company. Can you imagine? You know what? This is just going to end up being a running gag. Let's imagine a dragon on that stuff. That's a problem for the world at large. See, you what? I don't know. Sorry, I accidentally let out my Southeast Londoner. We'll survive. We'll survive. Harry, see, Autobot reviews. I don't post any videos. Ah, there you go. There's the answer. Good, because I was thinking, oh no. Let's see. Can you link your channel? Let's see. Torah. Nah. JK. Believe what you believe. No, we're all good. I was just thinking, like, I went to a Catholic high school and I was thinking, I think that the Old Testament, a large part of that, I believe, is the Torah, but it's not the whole thing. So I think we've got a little bit of, we've got some overlap in those two, in that one story. Let's see, Flipper, some save the homie. Oh, Whale Moses. Now I kind of want a whale figure, which would be huge. Anyone back the Flipper? I have not yet, but I definitely want to. Like, Mad Hatter is killing it with Flipboard. Yeah, I'm impressed. He's one of those guys that just cracks me up whenever I go to his channel. Let's see. AR, I think if he doesn't put up videos, I think he's pretty much good to go. Let's see. Wait, you mean a dragon that 6-inch figures could ride? Yes. Wouldn't that be sweet? Imagine a Mythic Legion's dragon with a saddle near its head. That would be insanity. Or just a saddle on the body. Oh, and even if it didn't come, they've gotta come with a saddle if they make it, and then make it so that the saddle's removable as well. Maybe in multiple colors. Like you have a green, a red, a red dragon from Mythic would be nice. Sergeant Slaughter needs a ride. Slaughter is probably the only character that could tame the dragon. Although I've got Darth Vader on my desk. Darth Vader riding a red dragon, like a Sith dragon. Oh, now we're talking. Flipboard can save the homie as well, Harry. Great point. Flipboard is rad. I love the idea of Flipboard. Just the way that the Hatter's mind worked to come up with that. It's amazing. I backed the Cyberzoic Arctic Dragon. That thing's sweet. Well, I haven't seen that yet. I've seen some of the Cyberzoic stuff. Maybe I have. I think they had that dragon at a show, and I saw like the prototype of it. But yeah, all good stuff. All very good stuff. And holy crap, I just noticed how late it is. Guys, we've kept this going for a bit. Thank you. Jeremiah, there are the Storm Collectibles Golden Axe Dragons. That's true. That's true. But aren't they? They're much smaller than what we're thinking, right? I'm not sure. Like there was a dragon that the troll guy came with, or the smaller guy came with, or was that not a dragon at all? It's been a while since I've kept up on my Storm Collectibles, obviously. Skew Raider, very fun stream. Take care, everybody. You too, Skew Raider, and thanks as always for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. But with that, guys, yeah, I looked at the clock. I've still got a few things I need to get done tonight before I go to bed. So I want to thank everybody for popping in here and hanging out. It was a great chat, as always. You guys are a blast to talk to. So thanks again, and until next time, have fun. Happy snapping, and let's see if I can come up with a crazy little face here that I haven't done before. Let's try this. I don't know. I do this because I never know when this thing's actually going to cut out. So let's try. Let's see here.